So TwitchCon 2025 has officially come to an end, and unlike last year, there wasn't any kick streamers running around the event terrorizing everyone, but there was one specific weirdo who chose to make a traumatic decision and literally ruined the event for not only just the streamer he assaulted, but for many others as well. And if that isn't bad enough, the way Twitch handled this entire situation has only made it worse, making a lot of streamers fear for their safety and security.
This is just not a safe environment. And this isn't a new criticism of TwitchCon, this has been consistently something that people have spoken out about for years with TwitchCon.
Just so you guys know, Cutie and I are not going to TwitchCon anymore. We did back out. I don't feel safe. I'm just uncomfortable.
I saw Valkyrie, I saw Pokey, I saw Hassan, I saw Cutie saying, I don't really want to go to TwitchCon because I don't feel safe. And Twitch's response to that was to be like, oh, don't worry, everyone else. We up security. I should have listened to them.
But what exactly did this weirdo do? Who did he assault? And how did Twitch handle this entire situation? Well, that's probably what you're here to figure out. But first, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the tribe house with the biggest triber. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into how TwitchCon once again failed. Okay, so to start, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what TwitchCon is, it's basically a big event that spans over the course of the entire weekend. This event has a bunch of activities for both the streamers and the fans as well. It's basically the biggest event within all of streaming, and it's the perfect place for streamers to be able to meet up with some of their supporters and show them some love in an actual real life setting. And this has always just been the setup of TwitchCon. It's basically the same as any other convention, and most of the time, at least up until the last 2 years, it's always gone relatively smooth. Of course, there's always going to be some type of drama or something going on, but there hasn't been anything nearly as bad as the things that took place within the last few years. There's always been a bunch of fun and interactive events that allow the creators attending to compete and network with one another, such as like gaming tournaments for insane amounts of money. And then of course there's the most popular part of TwitchCon as well, at least for the fans, and this is of course the meet and greet events, which is obviously where fans get the opportunity to meet all of their favorite creators and finally get their chance to take pictures with them, shake their hands, give them a hug, maybe even get their autographs. And of course this is great for the fans and supporters to be able to get this chance to interact with their favorite creators, because a lot of people do look up to some of these people or are inspired by these people, and in some cases they really do just make people's lives better. It's definitely a different feeling, because while it is great being able to meet up with some of your most loyal fans and supporters, it can also just be a little bit nerve-wracking allowing all of these random people to just get into your personal space and you don't know any of their like true intentions or things like that. Of course, things like that can always be a risk, especially when you don't have the proper security team. And unfortunately, at this year's TwitchCon, we would see the downside of these meet and greet events. You see, there's a popular streamer who goes by the name of Emiru, and she's been streaming for nearly a decade now. Over the years, she's managed to see a lot of success, mainly within the gaming community, gaining millions of followers across various platforms and even being closely affiliated with the popular content organization known as OTK. Honestly speaking, I've never personally watched a lot of her content, but I've never really seen her in any sorts of drama, and she really does just seem to be a sweet person. And unfortunately, this past weekend, she did end up having a very traumatic experience at TwitchCon after some weirdo just leisurely walked up to her meet and greet event and tried to kiss her.
Whoa.
Now, obviously this was a big deal for various reasons. Number one is literally assault, and number two, it just seemed to be a very lack of security here at this event. And while both of those things are very bad, everything that took place after this happened only made the situation a lot worse. It was clear that Twitch had already handled this situation very poorly with their security detail, but initially after this entire situation happened, Twitch themselves would release a statement to social media, and in that statement they was talking about how the safety and security for all of those attending TwitchCon is the highest priority, and how the weirdo who assaulted Emiru was immediately blocked from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and he was also banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and from the in-person events. Which of course all sounded great, like yay Twitch, they're putting the creators first, protecting their creators. But Emiru herself would later release her own statement, basically stating how all of this was literally a lie. She stated that after the weirdo attempted to assault her, he was allowed to literally just walk all free, and he didn't even get kicked out up until the point where her manager started complaining and pressing the TwitchCon staff. And that's when he would finally get caught and removed from the premises hours later. And this was something that Twitch literally couldn't even deny, because there was actual proof circulating online of this guy being spotted in the back of others creators' streams, literally just walking around free after the incident as if nothing ever happened. So after Emiru released this statement to social media, she would also go live to give more insight and details about what had happened, and in the end she urged people to not even attend next year's TwitchCon.
Okay, I've been talking to Twitch people, and I'm really upset because I noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I asked them, you know, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days. What? And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a fuck if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here. So they change it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch. Also, later the same night, I'm not gonna drop names here because I wasn't there, so I didn't see it, but I had multiple people tell me that key Twitch representatives last night were out partying. I really would discourage other creators from going back to TwitchCon, not just because it was able to happen at all, and what happened during it, and the aftermath.
Now, it was definitely clear by the measures and actions taken by Twitch after this happened that they didn't really take it seriously at all. And despite Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, claiming to care deeply about Emiru and the entire situation, he was still seen out later that night having his version of what was supposed to be a good time. And of course, everyone has their own opinions on the type of person Dan Clancy is. Some people like him, some people hate him, some people think that he may even be a weirdo himself. Your opinion on him is definitely your own, but I can assure you that he's definitely been receiving his fair share of hate on Twitter.
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan, and a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, you know, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch, it extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there, okay? Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in now.
Anyways though, obviously on the surface level this is all very bad, and on a deeper level it gets even worse. It really just makes you wonder about how much Twitch truly cares about their security and safety of their creators, because to make matters worse, like a bunch of clips started resurfacing around Twitter from like earlier in the day, and it just made everything much more worse. Like for one, it was revealed that Emiru actually had to do this meet and greet in order to keep her show at TwitchCon as well, because according to the rules, if you cancel one event then you have to cancel both of them, and she didn't want to lose her show.
So I had to cancel my meet and greet because of the stuff, but in order to, I can't cancel my meet and greet and not cancel her show because of the fact that the reason I cancel my meet and greet is I don't want to be in the same place for 2 hours because of people being weird.
Okay.
And then I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one and not cancel the other.
Interesting. Oh.
So I'm sorry,
I kept my
Emmy.
meet and greet because I wanted to keep my show. Surely it'll be
I'm
fine.
sorry, Emmy.
I'm sure everyone will be nice.
And then after this, I also seen rumors starting to float around about how Emiru's favorite personal security guard wasn't allowed to attend this event because he was banned years ago. And that ended up being true after she confirmed in her statement as well that her security guard was previously banned at TwitchCon after she had another encounter with a weirdo who was stalking and following her around a previous event.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about this, whatever, who cares. I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon and he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him and the guy wouldn't stop, so he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like perma-banned from the venue forever. But he didn't even hit him or anything. He just like held him while they waited for like the police to come. And what the fuck? And it was like my favorite security guard. I can't have him at TwitchCon anymore.
So it's without a doubt that Twitch has completely just failed Emiru and many other streamers as well, and the entire internet has been letting the company hear it over the past 48 to 72 hours. I've seen nothing but hate towards Twitch and the TwitchCon staff, and especially the CEO, for even allowing something like this to happen, and of course all of the measures that was taken after it happened. And there was even a bunch of creators who would go live and share their opinions on this whole thing as well.
And in fact, it wasn't until her manager pressed them for action that they did anything at all. That's unhinged. They didn't want to, jump into action after a fucking assault just took place. I just don't get it. That's completely unhinged. It almost feels like maybe they're more angry about Emiru's bodyguard there shoving the guy. Like maybe they're thinking about banning him from Twitch events in the future or something. Like it doesn't seem like their priority is safety. If they were going to just let this guy walk away until Emiru's manager had to force their hand to do something, this is just not a safe environment. And this isn't a new criticism of TwitchCon. This has been consistently something that people have spoken out about for years with TwitchCon.
Now, all this has done is just completely ruined the stigma around TwitchCon. I mean, people already said they didn't wear deodorant there. I don't know how true that is, but it's one thing to just not want to be around musty people, and a completely different thing when people are beginning to feel unsafe at your event. It's clear that they just weren't taking the security measures seriously, and to make this even worse, it's one of the bigger Twitch streamers that this happened to as well. Imagine if this was just some smaller streamer who didn't have like as much of a voice within the community and things like that. Who knows how this whole thing would have been handled? And with that thought in mind, this could potentially lead to a bunch of creators just not even choosing to go to TwitchCon next year or the years after. And this is now the second year in a row where a few weird people have just completely ruined the TwitchCon experience for everyone involved. Hopefully Twitch can just learn from all of this and tighten up on their security so creators can feel safe for years to come, because I think that this situation is definitely going to drive some creators away. But that's just my personal opinion. As you guys know, the only opinion that matters to me is you guys' opinion. So be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this entire situation? How do you feel about Twitch? How do you think they handled this entire situation? Do you think that they're doing all they can to handle this the right way, or do you think they're not doing enough? Be sure to let me know down below, and while you're at it, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join me on my journey to 25,000 subscribers. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, be sure to give me a thumbs down. You guys know any feedback is good feedback to me. And as always, I appreciate all of the love and support, and I'll catch you boys and girls in the next banger, man.
Bye, have a beautiful time.